Hey guys, a very good evening to all of you. I hope my voice is audible to you. आवाज आ रही होगी. A very good evening, and today we'll be talking about post-colonials. I'll be explaining you what is colonial, what is post-colonial, what are those discourses, and then some important terminologies. There are certain terms which are very important. And I also must tell you this thing that post-colonials or the PhDs in post-colonials are something very normal cliche thing. But there are so many terms, so many aspects that you can go for your PhDs in post-colonials. So many of you must have studied in your universities, people must have taught you, but then there are some students who are from state university backgrounds or some other backgrounds where they are not taught about these things in a proper way. So the first thing, what is colonial or colonization? See, I hope you have taken pen and paper. When one country, I'm taking it in a bigger sense, when one country tries to control another country, that's imperialism. That is called imperialism because the country wants to expand the boundary. Just like Sikandar, Alexander the Great. He kept on winning countries and came to India and was almost a world winner, a world champion by the age of 33. So when he came to expand the boundaries, that is called imperialism. But then if you control a country, you stay there, you make them think like you change their cultural practices, you question their religion and teach them your religion, your mindset, your type of behavior, your type of lifestyle. That is called colonization. When you control someone and make them think like you, make them behave like you, question their identity and tell them that we are better, follow us. That's colonization. So please don't get confused between imperialism and colonization because colonization can be done without imperialism. Remember this point. Colonization can be done without imperialism. Like America has not conquered us in India, but we have the mindset, we follow Americans, we follow Europeans, we have our dressing sense like them, hairstyle like them, thought process like them, we want to be like them, and we are forgetting our own culture. So colonization is done without imperialism. Then what is post-colonials? Simple. When the Britishers came to India, they found that we are the rich people, we have minerals, jewels, then a lot of other resources. So they stayed in India, they colonized us, controlled us, and they tried to control our cultural practices also. But when all of a sudden, during 1947, they left us. So when they left us, what was the immediate response? We were all happy. Wow, they have left us, they have gone back, we are happy. But then we realized that we don't know how to govern, we don't know how to rule. We didn't know what to do with the country. We were fighting for the country, we found the country, but we didn't know that. And when we started learning about this, we realized that they have taken a lot of gold, a lot of money, and when they felt that we are almost empty, then they left. They took everything. So the colonizer has left us, but what is the state of the colonized one? What is our state in the world scenario? What was the change they did? What was the damage they did? Who are we now? What we were, what we were made, and now as we have been left, what is left with us? That's post-colonial. Okay, many of you must be thinking that it's not that easy to understand. Uh, okay, I'll use this light also. It's causing some trouble in my eyes. So let's make it easy. One of my favorite example is that suppose you are live alone in your house, you have your own lifestyle, your own fooding habits. Early morning you want a bed tea and then you eat all the junk food, you watch TV And then one day, a person enters in your house forcefully and says, I will stay with you. You don't want that person. You push him back. Go back. But then that person says, no, I will not leave your house because I have a gun. Now you will have to accept it. You can't fight back. So now you say, okay, stay in my house. Next day, he wakes you up early morning, 5 a.m. Come on, get up. And you're like, why are you waking me up? He says, I have a gun. Get up. Follow my routine. He makes you run early morning. Then you come back, you want to eat junk breakfast. He denies it. He makes you eat good food because he has a gun. You want to watch TV while eating the breakfast. He stops the TV, shuts it down because he has a gun. He teaches you to take bath early. He teaches you to maintain your house, to laundry your clothes. You must be thinking it's a good thing. To get it ironed, to be civilized, to come back, to go for gym, to come back, be happy, healthy, sleep by time, no more late night movies, no more late night snacks, no more fun fact and malls and movies. You don't like it, but you can't fight back. He has a gun, you can't fight back. Then what happens? Now, what's happening? It's going for 6 months. Now he doesn't need to show you gun. You get up early morning, you eat healthy, you go for running, you come back, you go to office, you come back, you eat healthy, you go to sleep by time, and he has trained you, changed you like him. You are following his lifestyle. Then one day, all of a sudden, he takes his bag and says, bye, I'm leaving. He goes, you are happy. Wow, I'm back to my routine. But next day, you automatically wake up by 5 a.m. And now you want to eat junk, but then something in your heart tells you that junk is bad. For 6 months I've been avoiding, I don't want to eat it. And now you realize that you are not the same person who you were 6 months back. You are not the same person who you were 6 months back. What does this mean? That's called the post-colonial identity crisis. Well, all the examples I have taken for the good. You will say, sir, we want a person like that. It's a good thing, sir. It's good for but from which point of view? That colonizer's point of view. He said it's good. You have to follow that. Forget good thing or bad thing. Just tell me that somebody came forcefully, changed you and goes back, and now you are permanently changed. That's post-colonial identity crisis. So when the Britishers came to India and Africa and they controlled us, and whatever they did, that is the part of colonialism. Then we fought, we resisted, they left us, they went back. That's the part of post-colonials. And here we have some terminology. So I hope you understood, right? So go for the first terminology. I have switched your comments off just for the single reason. I wanted to teach you without any distraction. Otherwise, a series of questions, comments, lines, it keeps on going. So I have some points here. The first most important term, ambivalence. Ambivalence is a term which means ambiguous, confusion. How many of you feel that Britishers, when they came to India, they actually did a better thing? They civilized us. They gave us railway transportation, post office, IAS exam. At that time, it was called ICS. And they were the people who were far away from casteism. They did not care about these things. They also supported female education. There are some people, there are some guys who believe in this thing that the Britishers did a great contribution. Some people actually believe in this. Then some say no. They played with our culture. They destroyed our culture. They took our freedom away. So this is called the concept of ambivalence. A relationship between the colonizer and the colonized is not 100% clear whether it was good or bad. For example, like I want to reduce weight, okay? So someone comes forcefully and takes me to gym to run. I may not like it for 7 days, but after 6 months, I will be confused whether I should hate him or I should love him. For 7 days, I won't like it. Within 1, 2 months, 3 months, I'll be comfortable. And within 6 months, I'll be seeing a change in me, muscles and everything else. And then I won't be understanding whether I should thank the person or not thank the person. That's the idea of ambivalence, a relation between colonizer and colonized. 100% nobody can say that it was totally disastrous for India. The Britishers came and civilized us somewhere, no doubt. It's a fact. I hope you are liking the lecture and understanding this in easy way. That's an ambivalence concept. Next one. Colonial education, also related to Lord Macaulay. When you have colonized someone, when you have taken the control of some country, will you teach them about how to fight against colonization? You have a servant, and servant has some rights. So will you teach your servant that you have some rights? You deserve Sunday off. You can ask me for some special leaves. I cannot raise my voice to you. I cannot trouble you after 9 p.m. You have some human rights. Will you teach it to your servant? No. That's what they did. When the Britishers came to India, they taught us all the good side of Britishers. They didn't teach us the bad side. They introduced education according to their benefits. The Babu English, the Presidency College, which started the course for the Butler English or the Babu English, that was the idea of the Britishers to have clerks from India. It's a question of exam. Madras Presidency. They started a course called Butler English, also known as Babu English. That was an attempt to get clerks from India. They needed clerks. They needed typists. They needed writers, dictators who would dictate the lines in English. So they simply needed it. Now, the next thing is diaspora. Very important thing. When Britishers went, some Indians went with them to study in Britain, to learn. These people who were abroad, other country, those who miss their own country. Diaspora stands for people who stay in other country and miss their own country, feel nostalgic and write about them. If I go to England, I miss India, I write about India, Indianness, Indian theme, Indian food. That's the part of diaspora. So diaspora is simply the natives who are living abroad and are recalling or missing their own country. That's diaspora. So even the diaspora gets you confused whether you are actually an Indian or a foreigner. The NRIs, non-resident Indian. I call them non-reliable Indians. See, there are migration of people. I'll read it for you. You can understand. Voluntary or enforced migration of people from their native homelands. Diaspora literature is often concerned with identity. If you have migrated to America, why did you go to America? And if you have gone there and you are not able to mix up with them, why are you missing your own country? One of the finest movie that has some scenes related to an Indian living abroad. You must have seen Indian families living abroad. They miss India, and then people, they say that in abroad there is no connection. You are Indian. You will always be an Indian. In Namaste London movie, Katrina Kaif has named herself in a Western style, but that foreigner says that you have named yourself Judge. That doesn't make you one of us. You can copy our names, but you cannot become one of us. That's diaspora. So the diaspora people are those who are actually fluctuating between two countries, not able to get settled in a new country in a proper way, psychologically, emotionally, and missing the old country but not willing to come back. That's diaspora. Na ghar ke na ghat ke. Next one, ethnicity. Ethnic identity. If I go to Switzerland and you find me there after hundreds of years, my generation, and you get to know my surname, Pandey, and you know that this is an Indian surname, you will be simply able to connect me to India. The British PM Rishi Sunak, Sunita Williams, then some other people that there are so many people in abroad who have Indian origins. So we become so happy. Indian origin became PM. Arey, he is not an Indian. It's just he has a name in related to India. But then we find the roots, ethnicity. My surname will always connect me to India. And here we go for ethnic nepotism. Another term. If I'm in England and I meet a Pakistani, I will not hate. I will love. Why? Because he comes from my ethnic land, my ethnicity. His fooding habits, my fooding habits are almost same. His mindset, my mindset are almost same. His communication standards, my communication standards are almost same. So technically we belong to same ethnicity. And having the same ethnicity, a safe connection and attachment will be formed, which is known as ethnic nepotism. The theory by Azaz Ahmed, also known as kin selection theory. विदेश में हिंदुस्तानी, पाकिस्तानी, बांग्लादेशी, श्रीलंकन सब अपने हो जाते हैं बिकॉज आप एक्चुअली सब कॉन्टिनेंट की आइडेंटिटी ले जा रहे हो. द इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंटल आइडेंटिटी दैट यू कैरी. द नेक्स्ट वन, exoticism. Why are we conscious about white people? You must have seen foreigners in Goa, in other places, Delhi, Mumbai. You will find some people from India, Indians, who will request them photo, please photo, one photo with you. Why? Are they animal? Why do, even I think you must also have tried that, right? कभी न कभी आपने किया होगा, मैंने भी किया. But at that time I didn't know what is post-colonials and what is identity. Otherwise I wouldn't have done that. So at the time I also didn't know that. So I also used to feel that if I get clicked with a white person, that's something, an achievement. So I also did photo, one photo. You must have done that. Why are we doing that? Because the us other mentality, the westerns, the whiteness and the us, we people, we look at them with a particular exoticness that they are better than us, superior than us, and we must get clicked with them. I can bet you must not have asked any African photo. What if a Bangladeshi comes to India? Will you ask that Bangladeshi, oh, you are a foreigner, photo? Sri Lankan? No. A white person, Sweden, US, what is that? USA. Actually मैं अमेरिका गया नहीं हूँ ना तो मुझे नाम नहीं पता ठीक से. But England, Russia, wow, white people, that's called white supremacy. And they also come to see India with exoticness, but not the exotic upperness, the betterness. They come with exotic inferiority concept. They look at us with inferiority. Oh, the cows at the beach, the cows at the road, then dirt, garbage. Remember Munna Bhai MBBS movie? When Circuit meets a Japanese boy, he says, "Oh, kya kar rahe?" He says, "I'm photo, hungry people, poor people." Then Circuit says, "तुम लोग को बाहर से आके ये hungry वगरी दुखती है क्या?" फिर बोलता है, "You see Taj Mahal." So what does he say? That when you people came from other countries and you come to India, why do you see only poor people, hungry people? Why don't you see Taj Mahal? Then the foreigner say, no, hungry people, poor people, वो ये इंडिया में देखने आते हैं. शर्म आ रही थोड़ी सी ना. Exotic otherness, inferiority and superiority complex. So we look at them that they are the superior ones and they look at us that we are the inferior ones. The us other mentality, they are them, we are we. हम हैं, वो हैं, and they are better than us. This is also known as Eurocentric attitude. Write down these terms. This is also known as Eurocentric attitude. Europe is the power structure. Europe is the leader of the world, and European countries are actually defining our countries. They control us. We are nothing. Anyway, won't be studying this lecture. We will have part 2. इसका part 2 डालेंगे, ठीक है? So stay tuned because there are so many other terms pending. My eyes are actually looking at the screen and they're having some trouble. So I think I'll have to go for an eye check. Till then, continue with these terminologies and take homework. Read V.S. Naipaul, House of Mr. Bishwas. Note it down. Likho. V.S. Naipaul, House of Mr. Bishwas. Must read. Very important. Read it from Spark Notes. Read it from Spark Notes. That will be enough. Second work. Salman Rushdie, Midnight Children. Salman Rushdie, Midnight Children. Very important. And third one. Kiran Desai, Inheritance of Loss. These are all great post-colonial works. Kiran Desai, Inheritance of Loss. Also a Booker Award book 2006. Arvind Adiga, White Tiger, Comparison of Indian Chinese Market. A Booker Award book of 2008. Must read. Very important. Things Fall Apart by Chinua H.B. Things Fall Apart by Chinua H.B. Must read. Very, very important. Don't forget. Derek Walcott, Dream on a Monkey Mountain. Derek Walcott, Dream on a Monkey Mountain. Must read. एक बुक और ऐड कर देते हैं. अमिताभ घोष, In an Antique Land. It's a non-fiction. Just read 2-3 lines, 4 lines only. In an Antique Land, non-fiction. So these are your homeworks for you. Next class, I'll be asking you questions from these books. See you soon. Thank you so much. And yes, if you have not ordered your notes and you're targeting the March exam, do it immediately. March exam, June exam, technically you are prepared for March. In case you are not able to do good in March, you just have to go for April, May revision. 2 months complete revision with all your loopholes cleared. Go for June exam. So this is a golden chance, one of the finest chance. So I suggest you go with notes so that you can actually nail this. We have given results in 22 days, in 15 days. Tomorrow I'll be putting the video of that girl who qualified and got JRF in 22 days. So just go for these things so that you don't miss it. Thank you so much and see you soon. Take care.